Dogs may be man's best friend, but are you theirs? Have you been paying attention to the little things your dog might be telling you? Just because dogs can't clearly say, "Bro, that wasn't the vibe," doesn't mean they're not talking to you. You just have to speak their language, more specifically, their body language. In this video, your dog's body language will finally be explained, so let's jump right into it. Number 12. Tail movements. Dogs are almost always ready to get excited. No matter what's going on, they'll just hop on and start celebrating with you, even if it's the little things. That's something they usually convey by wagging their tails and being super excited. However, their tails wagging downwards or in between their legs are trying to tell you the exact opposite. When that's happening, your dog is scared, anxious, or upset. There might be something going on in the room that is upsetting them, and you should take it seriously and figure out what that might be. If they're standing tall, with their tail curved and up, they're sizing up to someone and might even go in for a fight. So when in doubt, check their tails to figure out what they might be trying to tell you. Number 11. Smelling crotches. Some dogs are just a little too direct. They straight up come to you, get all up close and personal, and start smelling your crotch. This might feel a little too weird because that's not really how humans say hi, but it's exactly how dogs roll. Whenever dogs greet each other, they smell each other's butts to figure out who the dog is and if they've ever met before. Sometimes dogs just see people as really tall dogs and start sniffing their crotches too. They're not trying to be weird, they're just saying hi. Number 10. Whining. People think that wants are just a human trait, but it's not. Dogs can want things too, and well, they can even get a bit too touchy about it. If they don't get what they want, they'll literally start whining. Think of it like a toddler saying, "Mom," because that's exactly what they're doing. They'll even pair the whining with other signs to tell you exactly what they want. If they want to go outside, they'll whine and then walk to the door. If they want food, they might just kick their bowl around. Whatever it is, they want it and they're not going to stop whining until they get it. Number 9. Panting. Have you ever accidentally said the word walk and had your dog zoom over to you in 2 seconds, tail wagging and breathing extremely fast? That's your dog being super excited for the walk you're now going to have to take them on. But not all panting is the same. If there was no mention of the walk or any other words that might be a happy trigger for them, and they're just sitting around and panting, there's something else going on. Dogs can start to pant when they're overheating or super stressed out. They're either using the panting to cool off on a hot day or in an attempt to calm themselves down. Number 8. Yawning. Yawns are contagious. Chances are you just heard the word yawn and yawned yourself. But when your dog yawns, they're not trying to tell you that they need a nap. They're trying to tell you that something's up. If a dog feels threatened but wants to back away from a possible fight, the yawning might even be paired with them licking their own nose repeatedly too. That's them trying to calm themselves down. This doesn't necessarily mean there is a threat, just that they feel threatened. A little head rub and a few words of comfort might just make them feel better immediately. Number 7. Tilted head. Have you ever walked to your dog and noticed that they tend to tilt their head all cutely? Well, you know how we nod at each other throughout a conversation to make it more engaging? That's pretty much what your dog is doing too. A lot of dogs have some pretty heavy ear flaps that hinder their ability to hear. So when they're really trying to hear you out, they'll tilt their head to let more sound into their ear, making it easier to process. They're not just being cute, they're actually trying to show you that you have their undivided attention. One thing though, if your dog is just walking around the house with their head tilted, that might be cause for concern. A tilt all the time could be a sign of them having an ear infection or something major that's causing them pain. If that happens, ask yourself, what is that dog doing? Tilting the head momentarily to adjust focus or soothe their own pain and react accordingly. Number 6. Belly up. Some dogs are just giant balls of excitement. They'll run up to you with everything they've got, roll over, and just go belly up, looking right at you. In most cases, this just means that they've arrived for some exclusive belly rubs, and you have to oblige to their request. But it's not always just happy, cute belly rubs they're asking for. Sometimes it's just them trying to be submissive. If they're trying to tell someone that they don't mean to be a threat by just going like, "Look, would I show you my little belly if I meant any harm?" Number 5. frozen in place. As hyper as dogs can be, sometimes they just stop and stare at stuff. You might notice that suddenly, your dog has gone from running at incredibly high speeds to literally looking like they're frozen in time. Dogs usually do that when they feel like they need to guard something. It might be their toy from another dog, something suspicious that a person dropped, or literally trying to protect thin air. Don't question it and keep your distance. Let them figure it out, or they might just land a pretty serious bite. If they're trying to guard something, you're going to have to let them. Just keep an eye on them just in case they're actually in danger. Number 4. Eye changes. Eyes are the windows to one's soul. That's not just true for humans, but dogs too. Dogs convey a lot of things just with their eyes. If they've got soft, relaxed eyes, they're feeling safe and secure. They might even throw in some puppy dog eyes to show you just how much they love you. But their eyes aren't just for the happy stuff. If you're noticing that their eyes are super wide, they might be feeling particularly threatened or scared. But if they're trying to avoid eye contact and keep trying to look away when you're looking at them, you might want to go and figure out what they destroyed. Chances are your trash can had an unexpected visitor. Number 3. Ear movements. The positioning of a dog's ears depends on the breed it is. Some have giant floppy ears, others have tiny short ones. But what unites them is the way they use their ears. If your dog is just lounging around with their ears in their natural relaxed position, they're feeling super chilled out. If they're extra droopy, they might just be feeling sad or concerned about something. The most concerning of them all is when they perk up, reacting to a potential threat. This is your dog trying to figure out if they're just hearing things or is there actually something shady going on. Number 2. Smiling. Has your dog ever smiled at you? We're not talking about a full mouth open, tongue out, and drooling everywhere. We're talking about all teeth out smiles. Yeah, that's not a smile at all. That's them trying to show you what they're packing, so if you make one wrong move, it's going to be the last one you make. Dogs showing you their teeth and sometimes even pairing that action with moving their jaws, having their ears pointed up, you just know they have a bit of an aggressive stance going on. If this stance is directed at you, you might want to back away and let them know you mean no harm. So they calm down and everyone can go back to being a normal, happy family. Number 1. Spinning around before sitting down. This one's a classic. And some dogs do this a lot more than others. Even when they're super sleepy, they'll get to their spot, spin around for a good minute or two like they're actually going somewhere. And once they're satisfied, they'll just sit down and initiate a project nap. Dogs in the wild did this because they were usually sleeping on things like leaves, so they needed to spin around, make things all nice and comfy before going to sleep. They'd also do this so they can sleep in a way that their necks and bellies are hidden away safely. So if someone were to attack them in their sleep, they'll still be safe. House dogs don't really need to do that, but since their ancestors did it and it's in their nature, they might still spin around on their favorite pillow trying to make it comfier so they can have the best nap ever. Alright, are there any little things your dogs do when they're trying to tell you something specific? Be sure to let us know in the comments below, and also make sure you like this video and subscribe to INFORAMA for more pet-related content. We'll see you in the next one.